We're heading out. All aircraft report. This is Peppy. All systems go.
Flippy here. I'm okay.
Falco here. I'm fine.
Good evening, everybody. It's Monday night, friends, and I'm back with some code in here. Let's get that squared away and bring the screen up here. There we go. Very good. Camera has slid all the way over again. It has a tendency to do. All right. Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome. Give me one moment because I need to clear my sinuses here. So hang on once. Okay, that's a little bit better. Can breathe through my nose again. That's delicious feeling here. Anyway, welcome on in, everybody. I hope everyone's been having a good, or had a good weekend. Has been having a good start to your week. Today was Scatterbrain Monday for me. Just, just all over the place. Things got done, but all out of order. It's just every Monday it's like that for me. I just like super scatterbrained, and like I manage to get things done, but they're just like there's no rhyme or reason to the order in which they've gotten done. And then there's things that just I wanted to get done and did do, and you know, so many things, so much stuff. But hope everyone, as I said, is doing well. So I want to continue trying to tackle the chat stuff. And specifically I want to try to tackle it with regards to the, hang on, I'm trying to, what is that doing? It's not actually doing anything, is it? Oh, I see. Okay, I see what's going on there. Sorry, I was, I set up the vertical streaming plugin, but I haven't set the scenes yet on it, and I haven't, so I'm not, I saw some things lit up. I'm like, wait, it's not streaming nothing right now, is it? I don't think it is. But at some point here, I do want to set it up so that it, so I can stream vertically at the same time. The problem is right now, I'm not sure how to get it to pick up the preview window. because that's kind of what I wanted to do. But I have a feeling it's not. I have a feeling it's not going to work quite the way I want it to work. Is what it comes down to. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I just at some point I'm going to try to set that up and see what it looks like. Because my main thing right now is I want to be able to, when I switch scenes, I want the vertical thing to also switch scenes as well, and not just be stuck with some other scene that, and then I have to manually do it or what have you. So we'll see on that one. I'll have to read up on the on how to set it up, because I'm sure there's probably some way of doing it. Probably. We'll see. So yeah, I want to focus on the chat stuff. There's some groundwork that I have to lay, which is at least getting chat messages to show up on a page. So we can start there. Before I do, I also want to do a little bit of research and see if I can figure out like what's going on. Like, well, let's take a look at what am I looking at? Let's take a look at headless Java browser. Chrome headless with Java. JS, JavaScript, both tremendous tools. What is this? Headless mode in the restricted browsers. Hacker News. Chrome driver path. Instance of a WebDriver object. Chrome driver. I mean, I definitely want something that looks like it's Chrome browser for this to work. Options and arguments. What the hell? Okay. Well, so I know about HTML units. What I'm wondering here is HTML units. HTML unit uses it's on top of something, if I'm not mistaken. Submit a browser for testing purposes. Getting started. Is used as the underlying browser by different open source tools like WebDriver. Right. Okay, so then WebDriver is Selenium. Okay. GK17 has to contribute. Ruby. Okay, so this, I mean, if I do this, if I use selenium for it, which is kind of a bit much for what I need, but then what I'm worried about is that the JavaScript will run. That's more of my thing, is that I want I want to make sure that the JavaScript itself is running on the page, like constantly running on the page, in order to do this, because presumably there's some kind of polling going on the chat page for YouTube. Now I want to make sure that continues running in the headless browser. So that I'm always grabbing. I guess it doesn't matter, because I can, well, it doesn't. I don't want to have to refresh the page every time, because that would just generate a lot of extra traffic. I would just like to be able to open the page up in the headless browser and let the JavaScript do its thing. Just have it be open and have it just be running normally, as though it were just a normal user just sitting there looking at chat. So Chromium driver, Chrome driver, Safari driver, okay. So if I use Selenium, Selenium, long running page. This is the other thing, is that Selenium does tend to run very, very slowly. I guess it's really long running JavaScript. That makes Selenium WebDriver run for many hours without it causing crash or out-of-memory problems. Unit driver. Oh, okay. Major browsers, lots of languages. Driver get, this goes for later. But I'm wondering, yeah, I'm still wondering if I should just do HTML units. For it. Specific elements, make a form. Finding form elements. Solidifying a specific element. Yeah, traversing the tree. Which hopefully I won't have to do. I mean, I'll have to find some things, but hopefully not a lot of things. Definitely not doing an XPath query, that's for damn sure. If I can help it. CSS selectors. Use JavaScript. So it's enabled by default, which is good. Using document rights. Watching for alerts. So alert handler. When the page load is complete, we compare that list to complete alerts. Okay. Status line messages, event handlers. Most event handlers are already implemented. They will trigger at the appropriate time. If you wish to test, if the event you wish to test not yet supported, you can directly evoke it through the script engine. Or JavaScript inside the page or window. Sometimes help will execute JavaScript inside the current page. Some JavaScript functions to run. Okay. I would imagine it's using It's using Rhino for the JavaScript. I have experience with Rhino. Actually. That's interesting. I used Rhino 16, 17 years ago. Because we had a way for users to, well, business power users to write XML, and then I would translate the XML to JavaScript and then have that run nightly because it was faster than constantly translating XML and stuff. We had a certain time window we had to get things done. So I've used that before. Also used Janino. We actually moved from Rhino to Janino to do it from, instead of JavaScript, to do it as Java and just create classes and then have those classes cached and run. Just to get every last ounce of performance out of it we could. Just going to get host objects and change the way JavaScript method lookup happens. This hierarchy is walked. Okay. Final keyword. Import statements. Web window listener, web window events. You wish to be notified windows are created or pages are loaded. You do web window listener, the web client. When windows open either by JavaScript or through the web client, web window event will be fired and passed into that. Both the new and old pages in the event will be null. The window event will be fired and passed in there using handlers. Confirm prompt status attachment. Clipboard print web start. Oh wow, they have Java web start stuff. Okay. Frame content handler. CSS error. Polyfills. The number of JavaScript APIs supported by the browser seems to increase every day. Because the limited development resources, each unit project being on track with is really hard, but there's already many polyfills available. The idea is to use some of these polyfills to add the missing APIs. Starting with version 259.0, HTML unit supports the integration of polyfills. There's a dedicated option for each. Okay. Fetch policy fill enabled. Window fetch policy. Fill. Interesting. So this might be a way to go. I think the one thing, I don't know if this will trip me up or not. I don't know if HTTPS secure will trip me up or not. I don't think it will. I accept an old or bad website certificate. Set use insecure SSL. That, I guess, kind of answers my question. This can help if you use a proxy like Charles or Fiddler to analyze traffic. Yeah. Okay. Oh wow, SourceForge. 440. I imagine they have a an HTTP /2 supports replace the Rhino-based JavaScript engine. Yeah, that would be a thing. March 27th. Fixes the switch to another JavaScript engine. Huh. Yeah, that, I mean, using Rhino might be the one negative of that, because it's long in the tooth and doesn't. It has some interesting bugs, but I suspect it might work for our purposes. Interesting. Okay. Oh, here it is. Add HTML unit to Maven there. I'm not as concerned about the vulnerabilities, really, because this is just going to be we're just loading up a Google, a YouTube page, and that's hopefully it. It's just how to report. Okay. Excellent JavaScript support. Web scraping examples. Okay. It's a much older version of HTML unit. Oh, that's right. It does have... Okay, so it actually will accept cookies and stuff, which is fantastic for our purposes. HTML page. Result page. Search button click. Okay. Yeah, the thing with Selenium is it's not necessarily easier. In fact, in many ways it's a little bit more difficult and it's slower. Java web scraping and JSON querying. It does not support JavaScript, but is extremely fast. Okay. It is not a free library. Oh, well, screw that then. Okay. So, I mean, that gives you a good, like, starting point there on how to scrape all the things. We're doing XPath too, which I hope to not have to deal with, but we'll see. I mean, if I gotta do an XPath, I gotta do an XPath. It's been forever and a day since I've done one, but they are extremely slow and have always been extremely slow. I don't think they've ever managed to make XPath go fast. So that's the only part that kind of sucks there. But it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do, because I'll be hitting up a site that I don't have control over where things are. So I mean, what I would love to do is to be able to, I imagine there's some kind of event that fires off. You know, some kind of event that fires off when a new message comes in. You know what? Let's try something here. Can let me copy that. There it is. Over here. Let's see if this works. It looks like it. So inspect and give me a better window here. Where's my where's that damn button at? Here it is. Go. So let's see, network. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, get live chat, preprint false. Yeah, it's like, it's polling. Go figure. So it's polling every 5 seconds, it looks like. 10 seconds maybe. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, about 10 seconds. Hilarious that they're pulling their own system every 10 seconds. So then I wonder, let me look at one of these coming down here. Reload is document hidden. User. Let's payload. Okay, response. Check attenuations. Okay, so it's getting a response back in JSON. Version. Interesting. Okay. So this is just running. Let me try something here. Go over here and just say test. Okay. So we saw this happens. Yeah, there's the text actions, add chat item, action item, text test, thumbnails. So I think in theory this will be interesting. Hey, hello, welcome on in. This is interesting. So in theory, because what I have to do is have this page load up, right? And then it's going to, hopefully the JavaScript will continue polling like it has been doing right now. And I just have to wait for, I just have to look at all these coming in and then see if there is a, like, parse them out, parse out the JSON and see if there is, where's it at? See if under continuation contents, live content, live chat continuation, actions has add chat item action. Item with the text that I just typed in and then who it's from, the name, the thumbnail of my user. And then badges, saying that I was the owner, so I have an owner badge, which is what made this highlight. So if I can have a headless browser running that has this JavaScript that's just constantly doing its thing, because it's not JavaScript I wrote, it's the stuff that came down, and I can somehow latch on to this particular call to get live chat that's running. I'm not sure how I would latch on to this particular one, but I wonder if, yeah, I'm not quite sure how I would latch on to that particular one that's running, unless there is some kind of event firing off. Which there has to be some kind of event firing off because it's polling every 10 seconds. So at the very least there's a timer running. I wish I could see, there's probably a way to see events in here somewhere, but I have no idea. Are these? Oh, these are all fetches. Didn't they just say that they have a thing with a polyfill for fetches? I wonder if that'll work at all. Let me see. Issues. Fetch. Can't make fetch API work. Fetch request again error. Reference error. Fetch is not defined. Driver. It's not supported so far. Is this is still open? Is polyfills. Polyfill supports. Since 259, there is finally a workaround based on the polyfill support. Which is the thing I just saw right down the bottom here. Fetch API polyfill. Oh, nice. Oh, cool. All I have to do is do that when we fire up the web client. Nice. Nice. That's really nice. So then, how do you importing will automatically polyfill, right? Response. Let's just talk about the polyfill itself, but okay. Automatically load. Okay, cool. I'm feeling pretty good, Outlaw. It's been a good day. It's been a Monday. Put it that way. I've been scatterbrained most of the day. Things have gotten done, but not in any kind of logical order. And some things I meant to do and I didn't do at all. So it's been a typical Monday for me, where it's just like, I just feel scatterbrained as per usual. And I took it a little bit easy this morning on the treadmill, because it was like I've been pushing myself a little bit more. Like I've been trying to, like, I had the TV on while I'm doing the treadmill, and whenever advertisements come up, I try to run as long as I can. Like my goal is, like, every time an advertisement comes up is to run for the 2 minutes worth of advertisements, and then slow down, to recover, and then the next set of ads come up, run through the entire 2 minutes. I haven't quite made it yet through one ad break yet, but I've been trying to do that, the almost like wind sprints, I guess, sort of in between just the walking and the fast walking and the running. I'm getting there. It's a slow process, but it's I'm feeling better. And I what I'm trying to do is, like, I'll do like maybe 2 days of that, and then where I try to do that 2 days back to back, and then I give myself like 1 day where I just take a break and just walk on the treadmill for 45 minutes, and then that way I'm not like pushing myself too hard. I'm not like cruising for a muscle bruising, as it were. Hey, Premier, welcome. So that's what I've been doing, and so far so good. I can say today is the first day where I've felt like insatiably hungry, and it's usually that means that the exercise is starting to work. Like, I haven't lost any weight since the initial drop, but I remember from long ago when I did this that, like, I started losing, like, right before I started to really start to lose weight consistently and started actually getting some progress. I remember getting like super duper hungry all the time, which was part of the reasons why I ended up failing that time around. It's just like, it was like, hungry all day long. But that has started again, so that's a good sign that maybe after almost 2 months now, like it's starting to see some progress, or at least I'm on the cusp of it. So we'll see. We'll see on that one. But yeah, nothing else too insane or crazy in my neck of the woods right now. Just trying to figure out this YouTube chat stuff, because there is an API for YouTube chat, but you got to pull the API, and YouTube doesn't give you a whole lot of credits as far as API is concerned. Like every time you do a poll, it can cost up to 1 to 20 credits depending on what kind of query you're doing. And they only give you 10,000 a day? Question mark. It looked like. So I that's the weird thing. I don't know if it was 10,000. Yeah, I think it was 10,000 a day. So using the API to try to have a combined YouTube Twitch chat is might be okay for like sending chat messages, but for receiving them, it's going to be a crap show, because the only way you can do it is you have to poll, and so I'd have to poll them every 15-20 seconds to see if new chat messages came in. And every time you do that, you're burning API credits, and very, very quickly burn through all those API credits. If you have even more than one person using the app, it's just going to be a nightmare. So I'm trying to find ways to implement it without burning through all those credits. And one of the ways I'm looking at right now is to use what's called a headless web browser, like HTML unit here, which basically runs a version of Chrome or Firefox or whatever in the background in a thread. And I can point it at a web page. In this case, I can point it at the where's it at here? I can point at like the chat, right? This is the pop-out chat page, and I can point at this on YouTube and then just let the page itself run like it would normally run, as it would in a browser, and then kind of listen for changes on the page that happen every time a message comes in, and scrape that off the page, and then put it where it needs to be. That's kind of what I'm looking at for the YouTube side of things. For Twitch, it looks like I don't have API credits to worry about necessarily, and so I can just pull. Actually, I think they have a different mechanism. I think Twitch has a different mechanism for getting chat messages that I don't think requires you to poll. So I think Twitch will be fine. It's just YouTube that's the really weird and not well thought out version here. How difficult has this been? It's being as though I'm doing them for the first time. It's difficult from that perspective. Because I've never integrated with YouTube fully before. I've never integrated with Twitch before, so I'm having to learn libraries and learn their APIs to some extent, and learn all their idiosyncrasies and stuff like that. And so that's a lot of just kind of trial and error, and try something, see if it fails, try it again till it succeeds, kind of thing. On top of that, I'm using a lot of tools that I've never used before. Like Java, I use every day, but I'm using aspects of it that I've never used before. Like, for instance, in the launcher, compiling the launcher to native code and having that be able to run as its own installer and all that stuff. That's all new stuff to me, but it's also fascinating and pretty awesome. So I'm learning a lot of things doing this. I mean, that's one of the reasons why it's so slow going, is that I'm learning as I go, and it's I'm learning a lot of stuff. And I'm using some old skills that I had from long ago as well. For instance, if I run let's do this. Let's do verify. Right, and then over here, I run this as where's my run at here? Run the launcher. Like, this is the launcher I've worked on a little bit. I don't have it automatically doing anything yet, but in theory, this would automatically start up the server instead of having to click start server. But you know, now the server's up, and I can hit open browser. Hopefully this will work. Yeah, it looks like it did. Yeah, so server's running and it's up on 7443, and you can see it's got a different database and everything, because I have that all set up differently than over on the other one. And so yeah, so it's all kind of running. So like getting that launcher and stuff piling, and then like I have a GitHub thing set up where I'm on the wrong desktop here, that's what's going on. I have a GitHub thing set up where I can compile it for Windows and compile it for, theoretically, for the Mac and for Linux. Compile it into an installer, and then you can run the installer, and then you don't have to worry about having Java on your system or anything like that. So that's been a lot of trial and error there, because I've never done that before, but it's working now for the most part. I mean, I still have to get like the icons and stuff that Shin made for me integrated into the app, but it's working enough to do that at least. And yeah, I mean, and now I'm kind of just I'm still working on base level stuff. Like, I want to make sure that I can do certain things before I do the gravy, you know what I mean? So base level things was like, can I get an installer that is easy for non-technical people to use? Yes. Can I launch a server and launch the application automatically for the users? Yes, it looks like it. Can I get all that to work with OBS and with the security that it needs? That looks like it's going to work with the OBS web browser source stuff. Can you link your multiple YouTube accounts? Can you link multiple Twitch accounts? Working on that. So I got the basics of linking those accounts done. So those actually link correctly now. I just fixed that yesterday or Friday, I should say. So those can be linked now. Here. And deploy what we've got. Show that. Alright, so that's up. So then come over here. Close this window so I don't get confused. Where's the other one at? Here we go. 6443. So this is the other. So I've got it where you can link. I successfully linked YouTube here because it grabbed the YouTube channel name and it grabbed the icon. I successfully linked Twitch because it grabbed my Twitch name, and then I don't have an icon set over there, but that's the default icon. We don't have one set. Profile pic or whatever. So those are working. Like the basic linking up is working. I still have to wire up some of these buttons and actually give them labels because there's going to be the ability to have multiple. So you can have multiple YouTube users and multiple Twitch users. So you could have, and this toggle here is whether or not it's a chat user only. So you can have it where you would, log in as yourself to do the main channel management and, changing titles and all that stuff. But then you can have another account that's just your bot account that does all the chatting in chat and responding to chats, responding to commands and stuff. So that way, people know, oh, this is like, you could have like outlaw bot or whatever, and you would know that, oh, this is the bot talking, not you, the streamer, talking, which is kind of nice. I think would be a nice feature to have. So I'm trying to go down that path as well, which should just be an iteration on what I've already got. So I'm not too concerned with that. But now the next piece is, and I think this is a very important piece, is, at least for me anyway, the primary user of this is going to be me, and then I'm going to, make it available to everybody. I want to be able to show combined chats on the screen. So I want to be able to show both YouTube and Twitch chat in the same browser source in OBS. Right now I have Caster Labs does it, but not quite. You have to have separate browser sources for both, and it's just annoying. And it doesn't. And Caster Labs has been having a lot of problems with its YouTube integration. They've been burning through API credits like mad because YouTube requires you to poll them constantly. So that's most of the problem there. So I want to try to get that working, and I'm doing the YouTube side of it first because, like I said, I can't, even though I can get the chat messages from the API, it's going to be too costly to do that polling every 20 seconds because I'm just going to burn through API credits, and then no one's going to be able to do anything. And chat is like probably the most important thing. So my thought there was I would do some web scraping and have the page open in a browser behind the scenes and let it just run like it normally runs. I'm not manipulating anything on the page. I'm just looking for when a message comes in, I can then grab that message off the page and put it onto, send an event to myself and have it display on some other, on the stream or whatever. And then if I can get that working, then it's the Twitch chat. I'll get that integrated. And then from there I have to move on to actually getting the alerts. Like I've got alerts, the basic alerts wired up, kind of, sort of, like the internal mechanisms for them, but I haven't actually integrated with either YouTube or Twitch yet to actually get alerts down. So that's the next thing to do, is to get that. And with the Twitch one, since Twitch is all about polling, I suspect I might have to scrape that off the chat window as well, probably when those alerts there, most likely. So that's why I'm starting with the basic chat, because I think everything's going to kind of tie off of that. Plus, in order to tell if you've gone live on YouTube, you have to poll. So there is apparently a URL that will actually update whenever somebody goes live, that you can kind of listen on to see if a user's gone live, and then once you go live, then that can be a trigger to actually start polling for other things and stuff. So it's YouTube's going to be more of the mess than Twitch is, which explains a lot, I guess. Am I hoping for a this year release? I would like to get something that let's put it this way. I would like to be using it myself by the end of the year. Like, I want to shut down Caster Labs on my streaming machine and be using my thing. Even if it doesn't have all the features I want to be using Magenta Breeze here for my streams by the end of the year. And if I can get to that point and I can run it all day long and it doesn't crash, it doesn't do, I don't have problems, and I've got, a bunch of testing in place and everything else. And I got like look and feel kind of spiced up a little bit. Then I'll start to ping people and say like, hey, you guys want to try this out for me and see if it works, probably early next year. I'm hoping early next year I can start to get it into other people's hands besides my own. And that'll be a big test, because that'll be like, does this even make sense? Is this confusing? Does it work with more than one person? It answers a lot of questions. Hopefully I can get somebody on a Mac to use it, because I have no way of testing Macs at all. So that'll be just experimental through and through, if I even get that to work. It may not even work on Macs. I might have to just not even attempt it, because I think I have to digitally sign it on the Mac, and the only way to digitally sign stuff is to have Xcode running, and the only way to get Xcode running is to actually be using a Mac, and that ain't gonna happen. So if that's the case, I think that's the case. I don't know. I have to look some more, but if that's the case, then there just won't be a Mac version of it, which sucks. But I mean, that's Apple for you. But that's what I'm shooting for. That said, it's going to require a lot more development time on my side, and I've only been doing a few hours a week of it. So, I mean, that's probably I probably need another 100 hours of development to get to that point. And I'm not sure exactly where I'm at. How long? This would be an interesting question. I'm curious here to see. 1 second, Premier. I see your question. I will answer you in a moment. I'm looking something up on the YouTube channel here. Let's see, playlists. Stream chat bot development. I have 51 videos under stream chat bot development. And I thought it used to tell you how many hours total. Details. Analytics. That's just analytics on it, but what's the total? They used to tell you the total number of hours your playlist has. Am I full-time for YouTube? No. No. I don't think I'll ever be full-time. I don't think I'm not sure that I want to be full-time. I know that sounds weird, but it's as much as I love streaming, I think it's unhealthy to do it full-time. Again, a weird thing to say, but I just don't. I feel like you should always have some kind of like side project, or maybe you have a side business or a part-time job or something. Because like, in order to do it full-time, you're basically, unless you're top tier, you're streaming like 12 hours a day, 15, 16 hours a day. It's very fickle. Like, you make so much one month and you make a lot less the next month, and you make some more the next month and a lot less, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and it seems, at least on the surface, like a really bad idea. Not to mention that, like, I would take a huge pay cut doing that. It doesn't tell you anymore. That's kind of weird. It used to tell you like how many hours were in your playlist, but I don't see it unless it's like, I can see that there's 51 videos. Well, let's see. I'm probably back of the napkin of it. So, on average, my streams are about 4 hours. We'll say. 3.5, we'll say. And there's 52 of them. So, calculator. So we'll say 52 times 3.5. So I've got about 182 roughly. It's a little bit more than that because there's a couple of streams here that are like 5 and 6 hours. But I got roughly 182 hours of development so far in the game. or in the in the bot. So not unreasonable to say that I probably need another 100, 110 to get it to a point where it's maybe ready to be seen. So, meh. So, I want to get extra hours from work, but I just got off my restrictions. Do I take time to easy up into level 6 workouts for 12 full time? Usually 12 hours. Our part time is 8 hours. I would say so it really comes down to Premiere what your, I guess, what your home situation is. If you're, and you don't have to say anything, if you're single, and you're still relatively young, I would, it would be a good idea to take on more hours now, with the acknowledgement that, with the important thing, which is make sure you're always keeping your eyes and ears open about everything. Like, be a sponge and absorb all the information you can from all the places you can. Because that's the only way to become indispensable, is when you're just a knowledge font, right? If you are, if you have a significant other and or a family to take care of, I would not, it may not necessarily be a good idea to take on more hours, is what I would say there. You may want to take a little bit of a break and then see what happens. The one thing that I have found over the years, tech companies in particular really take advantage of the young talent, the young single talent. Like, they will work you, if they can work you 16 hours and pay you for 8, they will do that, without hesitation. Which early on in your career, you kind of have to, unfortunately, you kind of have to do a little bit of that. Don't do a lot of that. Like, you have to put your time in somewhere, and, first 2 or 3 or 4 years, even 5 years, you might have to break your back a little bit, with that stuff. But after that, you really want to start looking, like, after you get 5 years, you really want to start looking at your options, whether it's with the same company or with a different company, and start to get to more of a as close as you can to like a 9 to 5, 8-hour day kind of thing. Or, like a 10-hour day if they do, like, if they give you a day off or something like that, whatever the case may be. But you definitely want to get to a more normal, whatever normal is for your area, work schedule, as soon as you've got some experience, as soon as you've got at least 5 years experience under your belt. Because just from my own experience, I didn't do that. And I spent the first 10 years of my career burning the candle at both ends, and it took me burning out and having health problems to realize that it was really stupid of me to do that. And I started out in a small startup, so hours, it made sense to put so many hours in. But then I moved to a much bigger company, and I still continued putting all those hours in. That was kind of the wake-up call that, like, this can't continue. And then from that point on, I found jobs where it was rare for anybody to be off the clock, be working like, you know, on a weekend or something like that. You know, it was just 9 to 5 stuff. And it took me a while after that burnout to, like, really start to enjoy the job again. Though I can say with certainty I've never quite as enjoyed the job as much as I did when I first started before the burnout. There's always a little bit that you don't you never get back once it's gone, kind of thing. So that's what I would say. I mean, everybody's got to pay their dues at some point. Don't squander that time. Use it to be indispensable. Use it to learn as much as you can. And then make sure you get out of there and get to something reasonable. You know what I mean? When they move up, they tend to go back down. Yeah. Before your week, it will move up. However, when they move up, they tend to go back down. Yeah. Yeah, it's a judgment call. But it be aware that the younger, less experienced people in tech tend to get heavily abused when it comes to time. It sucks. A lot of people end up leaving tech because of it. But like I said, everybody kind of has their dues to pay, as it were. Unfortunately, that just seems to be the case anymore. Now maybe that's getting better over the years. I don't know. But that's how it was when I was about your age trying to get into stuff. Because I was I got my first real job in tech in 2003. So, because I graduated college in 2002, and it took me, like, there were no jobs at all when I graduated. So it took me 8 months roughly to get my first job. That was in, like, March, I think, of 2003. It was roughly 8 months, something like that. So I was 22. And then I worked for that company for 5 years, and went from, I started out as a junior dev, and I worked all the way up to when I left them after 5 years, I was Java architect, and I started out at 30 grand a year, which even I at the time thought was very low, but they were a super small startup, and they had when they hired me and the 2 other guys that they hired at the same time, we were the first 3 strangers that they hired. Everyone else was a friend of a friend. they had just had their first profitable month when they hired us on. So it was 30 grand, but luckily that company took off. So there were a couple of years where I got like 2 or 3 raises in a year, which was crazy pants. And when I left there as a Java architect, I was making 95. And then I went to an e-commerce company. At that, I think I started out at 95 at the e-commerce company, and I was a senior software engineer 1. And then I was upgraded to an SSE 2 a couple of years after that. And I worked there for, what was it? So it was like 05 to, I think it was like 3.5 years, 4 years, maybe. Something to that effect. It was like 4 years I worked there. And when I left there, I was SSE 2. And I was lead. And so I was making, I want to say, I was making 115. And then that was when I hooked up with a recruiter, and that just made my life so much easier because I found a really good recruiter that actually knew what I wanted. But my first job after that, I took a pay cut. I went back down to like 105. But I had to do it because that job was killing me and I needed to get out of there. That was the job that I burned out from, and that was the job that I was getting. That was the first bout of sleep apnea that I had, and all that stuff. So I didn't want to take a pay cut, but I did just to get out of there. And that was also the job where I put in my 2 weeks and I left, and I told the next job that I was going to do that I need to give them, I think, 3 weeks notice. Or was it? No, 3 weeks. I told the new job that I had all lined up. I was like, I need to give my current job 3 weeks notice. And I gave them only 2 weeks notice, and I took a week for myself because I was like, I had moved into this house, and I did not, like, I'd moved into this house like 3 years prior to that, and still had stuff in boxes. Like, that's how much I was working at that company. Like, I still had stuff in boxes because I just was too damn tired to even like find a place for things. That was crazy. So I took a week just for myself to get. I went through his house. I was like, no more boxes. Everything finds a place somewhere. And I threw all that stuff and just took a break and then started a new job. But yeah, it's the way it is. I live with parents and myself. The only thing I pay for is food and car stuff. 26. I'm also putting in 401k. They got going. Yeah. I would say one of the things I learned early on, if you can afford it, try to maximize your 401k. I think there's like, I think it's like, now you might not make enough early on to be able to maximize it, but try at least like 10%. and just keep it there until you get a raise, and then raise it up like 1%, if you can afford it. Again, if you can afford it. Your ultimate goal there with a 401k is to get to a point where you're hitting the IRS limits every year of how much you're putting away, because that stuff is very important for retirement stuff. I know retirement's way off in the future, but it's there's probably not going to be any social safety net in place. I mean, there for me, I'll probably still have a social security and stuff like that, but I probably won't get the full payout from it. It'll probably be like 80% or something. And you can't really rely on that. It's unlikely that it will be there in any decent capacity. And all that other money you're putting away for retirement is really important. Because things are only getting more and more expensive as time goes on. And don't be afraid to like roll things over. Like there's a process for rolling things over from one 401k to another. Like when you switch jobs and stuff like that. There's always a process there where we can roll it over from one to the other without taking any tax hits on it and stuff like that. Between 8 and up it every year, max out to 10. Yeah, you got 6% in. Yeah, and if they do, another good rule of thumb there too, when you're starting out, if the company does a match of a certain percentage, at least do that much. Like a lot of companies will match up to like 6%, right? So if you put 6% in, you're basically getting double that because the company will match it. And then over and above that is just gravy, but they won't match it, but they'll match up to like the 6% or whatever. So if you're in a position where you need the money, at least do whatever the maximum match is, if you have it, if the company offers it and stuff like that. That's the way I've looked at it. But yeah, I was in a similar situation where I had all I had to do was pay for car insurance. Like I was living with my parents, so I had to just pay for car insurance, my portion of the car insurance, and I had to pay for the internet. So like when a cable bill came in, I'd have to pay for the internet portion of it because I was the one that used it the most. So I did that, and then I also paid board, which was voluntary. My mom wanted me to pay something for living there, and I was the one that picked the amount that I paid her, and then every time I got a raise, I raised up the amount that I gave her in board, because I thought that was just fair, to do that. I don't remember how much I want to say it was like, I want to say I started out at like $600 a month that I paid her in board. And then I raised it up several times. I think by the time I left and got my own place, I think I was paying her like close to $1,000 a month, maybe something like that. I don't remember honestly, but it was so long ago. But It was something. Maybe it was like $900 or something. Might not have been that much. But yeah. So I had that stuff going on too. And my car was just I had bought my first truck. And I did have college loans to pay off, but I saved up as much as I could and just tried to pay off the college loans as fast as I could. I paid extra on them because I knew those. Last thing I wanted was to have those things hanging over my head for years. So I just kind of saved up and just paid those off as soon as I could. You wanted to pay for bills, I'd say no to you and do stuff around the house, but you work at night. Yeah. Well, I mean, that. It is what it is, you know. My parents were happy to, do like to my mom's. The way my mom looked at it was she wanted to make sure we were responsible, because I wasn't the only one. Like my brothers had to do the same thing. She wanted to make sure we were responsible. She wanted to make sure we knew, like, if we were going to go get an apartment or something, you'd have to pay rent. So, let's get you used to paying something without going crazy with it. And also, she was cooking dinner. She was doing the laundry still, so I was paying her for that, for that stuff too. So, it wasn't all that terrible, honestly. I was happy to do it. I was happy to pay it because I was still able to save up for a down payment on this house, and I also saved up for a down payment on my first truck, because I bought that before I moved out. Like I bought that right after I finished paying off my student loans. So I think I paid the student loans off in like 2 years or 3 years, something like that. Because I just kept paying more than the minimum, trying to knock the principal down on them. And I didn't have. I mean, college was not as expensive back then as it was today. Like it was expensive. Like my final year of college, I think, was like 43 grand. But that's pales in comparison to what they're asking for nowadays. I mean, even that college probably is asking for 80 or 90 probably now, I imagine, per year. Like it was jumping quite a bit each year over year. And I had a partial scholarship, but the ass burn portion of a scholarship is that a partial scholarship is that it doesn't increase from one year to the next. So like scholarship was great the first year, but then, the tuition just kept jumping by thousands upon thousands of dollars each year. And that tuition was covering, or that scholarship was not increasing. So it got to the point where my senior year, I was like, I have to graduate now or else I cannot afford another year. And I was paying out of pocket too, like in addition to the loans. Like I had tapped out the loans, like I couldn't get more for whatever reason. I don't know why that was, but I couldn't get any more out of the loans. And so I had to start paying out of pocket for things, for the tuition in addition to the books and everything like that. So that was a lot of stress. Bought your car, you paid them in full later, but got in an accident, got a new car, and just recovered from that. Yeah. neat experience. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that was the thing. Like, in technology, you couldn't even get your foot in the door unless you had a college degree of some kind. So that was the only reason I went to college, was to just have that degree so I could at least get my foot in the door of places. And unfortunately, it's still very much the same nowadays, even though it makes no damn sense. Like, anybody can learn how to code. You don't need a college degree to learn how to code. And furthermore, a college degree doesn't actually, unless it's to MIT, it doesn't really do anything for your skills. Like, it doesn't actually give you the skills you need to be a good coder. You end up learning on the job anyway. So, you know, they'd be better off just like hiring people out of high school and training them on the job, and would get far better workers out of it. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome, Premier. You all welcome. So, let's see. I need to do baseline chat stuff here. So what I can do is try and at least get a basic chat going just internally, like a loopback, and get that at least looking decent, or well, not looking decent, but at least get that working. And then we can start to introduce other craziness into it, because what's going to be most likely is I'm going to have an event fire off, and then I'm going to have probably a server side event then trigger onto the page, and that will have the chat message in it. So I can kind of mock that up as it is and get that working, get that piece working, and then worry about the actual logistics of getting a real chat message going. Where do I start, though, is the question there. So, the SSE stuff, I did do a little bit of this. No, okay. Am I doing it for... I already have it in place for alerts, don't I? I think I already have it in place for alerts here. Didn't I play around with this already? Alert view controller. Yeah, here we go. Path SSE. Text event stream value. Handle events. And then I have an SSE emitter. Yeah, okay. So this is good. I already have this kind of set up. I just have to replicate what I've got here. All right. Did I change my logo? For what? Magenta Breeze or for my streaming channel? Magenta Breeze shouldn't Shin Sakura made me a logo for that, which I have to integrate that on this page and everything else. I gotta get his details down here too. So yeah, I have that. I just have to. I haven't like put it everywhere yet, for at least for the app anyway. Oh, the stream. No, it should be the same. Should be the same logo. The MLD logo. That should be the same thing. I did have a different. I did have my blue logo for a long time, so maybe it just took a while for that to take effect. That was the one that I just kind of did on my own, where I just took a screenshot of Cube World, my Cube World character, and did that. But yeah, the white MLD logo, and then I have like a transparent one as well. Those are all relatively new. I've had them for a couple months now. Again, done by Shin. So that was pretty good. He also did the channel banner too, as well. Okay, so this is good. So I had it. Ooh, speaking of being tired, oof. So yeah, it does a really good job. It does a really good job for that stuff. So that's cool. I guess we'll do front end. Front end chat. View chat view controller, and that extends base front end controller. Okay. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything special over here, did I? No. Okay. View. Sorry, outlaw. The yawning The yawning, it does nothing. I need that Simpsons clip. The goggles, they do nothing. I need to trigger that. I need that on my soundboard here. There's a lot of stuff I need to put on the soundboard. I have a few things on here, but I don't have a lot of. There's a lot of things. Like, what do I have on here? I've got, well, this.
This is the way.
And I've got this.
Oh, the Moopsie is free!
Mm-hmm. And I got Moopsie.
Moopsie.
And then another one from Lower Decks.
I suppose by the transitive property, I too must be Vulcan as a motherfucker.
That's always a good one. Oh, and then Arnold saying cocainum.
Cocainum.
Got a lot of stuff on here. I got from oh god, what's his name? The actor's name. I can't think of his name. But he played the Soviet general or something in Red Alert. The game Red Alert. I have him saying space.
Space!
You know. Of course, the classic Spaceballs line.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
That's always a good one. I do have Picard saying make it so, and I've got like a glove on here, but those are much louder than all the other ones. I have to like normalize those at some point. They'll blow your eardrums out. All right, so that's fine. So I guess what do we want to do here? Public string view. So this will just have to return an HTML page. Let's see what we got down here. Alerts, view alert. We have alert contents. Alert contents. Handle SSE event. Yeah, make them separate for some reason. Got alert message there. Alert contents. Oh, right, because alert message comes back. Okay, I remember why I did that. Yeah. Alert message comes back. Right. So I could basically, let's do fuse, new folder. Chat. And I'm just going to copy paste these over. Good old copy paste no think. And paste that in there. I'll rename these. And then what did I do here? I just did, right, alerts view alert. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Alert contents. And I moved the view alert contents to its own mapping. So, okay. Okay. Alright. Wasn't that long ago that I did this, but I'm like, it feels long ago. It feels very long ago. Like, I didn't even remember that I did this. That's how long ago. So we have alert contents, view alert. So let me do this. View alert, alert contents. Yeah, I stopped the code. Yep. I stopped the server. So chat view. Okay, so for right now, let's do a return chat view chat. Right, which will point to this page. Here, I want to say include chat contents HTML, and this should go chat. Oops, not cat, chat SSE right there. Alerts. This would be I guess technically the chat would fade in and out on the one thing. Let's do that chat. Yeah, I don't have any settings set up for it yet though. That's alright. We'll get there on that. I'll just do this so it doesn't fail. Have I heard about Rhine? No. Is that a, what is, let me see here. Was that the, is that the AI thing? Rain? I misspelled. Ooh, that's Oh, I just ran across something that is a little bit scary. There's apparently an insurance company, software company, I'm guessing. Yeah, it's got to be an insurance software company because it's got like Progressive and stuff underneath of it. Called Rhine, R-E-I-N. Embedded Insurance Reinvented. So this is like probably a policy administration system like one that I was working on. And they're saying that they are AI powered. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. AI powered insurance. That is not a thing that should ever happen. First of all, there's no reason to do AI powered insurance. Like, it's just I'm astonished that any actuary would let you in the door with AI. I'm absolutely stunned. Because that would be insane. Just absolutely insane. Nasty time coming. Yeah, it's like, first of all, having worked on an insurance policy administration system, there's a lot of math that goes on there, but it's all math that's already been done and formulated by actuaries, right? So like, I didn't have to do any math. I just had to implement the math that was supposed to be there. And I didn't even really have to even do that because our system was set up to that the actuaries could do scripting, a rudimentary form of scripting in XML, very rudimentary form, where they would say, like, they would call certain functions that we had set up, and they would do it in a certain order, and then that would calculate, premiums on your policy and all that stuff. Calculate certain events like death benefits, and because we're doing like life and annuities and stuff like that, so we're like death benefits and what was the other one? Gender reassignment benefits and stuff like that. They would recalculate what your life insurance was going to be for that, because at least back then, I don't know if it's changed since then, but if you were a man transitioning to a woman, your life expectancy would go up by a few years, so your premiums would change. Whereas if you did vice versa, your premium would go down if you lived longer, but then it would go up if you transitioned from a woman to a man. There was a lot of stuff in there. I don't remember all of it, but there was quite a lot of like events that would happen, and do like account sweeps and stuff like that. So putting that in the hands of AI is A, redundant, and B, a little bit scary, because, like, the AI that we have, this is the thing that just annoys the ever-living bejesus out of me. The AI that we have right now is not thinking. It's not, we gotta destroy that line of thought in people's heads. That the AI that we have right now is not thinking. It is just regurgitating what it was trained on in some kind of random order, right? So if you're employing AI on something like, say, life insurance, what you're basically saying is every new person getting life insurance through your system is now going to be subject to what someone else's life insurance was 20 years ago or 10 years ago or 5 years ago. It's going to just kind of mix and match all those things together and come up with a magic number. And your magic number is somehow probably going to be different from everyone else's magic number, and then really has no bearings on anything to do with you. You know what I mean? And that's just like, that's insane. It's, you could have two completely healthy people who should live, till their 80s. One's paying, a high premium and the other one's paying, almost next to nothing. And there's like no rhyme or reason to it. And the only way you're getting away with it is because the one person doesn't talk to the other person or doesn't know the other person exists. Like, that's just, I mean, I don't put it past them to try something like that, but that's just crazy pants. I don't, I mean, I am talking about insurance companies that like double and triple dip on policies too. I mean, every insurance company has to keep a certain amount of cash on hand in order to pay out like 80% of their, something like that, like 80% of their policies that they have to have enough cash on hand to pay them out if like if every one of them need to cash out tomorrow. And what they do is they move that money around constantly, and they make interest off of all those premiums, and then even more interest off those premiums by doing all kinds of like back channel stuff. Sometimes they're getting like interest off the same amount of money from 2 or 3 different sources, and then that's how they make all this freaking money beyond just charging you a high premium for no particular reason, just because they thought they could get it out of you, and it's just it's, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, it's like, and it's funny to see the collapse that we're seeing in the AI stuff right now, because anyone who's been following AI that has even a little bit of knowledge could have predicted this coming, right? Like, everyone jumped on board and they're all trying to get that, investor money, and then nothing. We're not having the crazy breakthrough events that they're expecting. And not only that, but they're running into the really difficult problem of garbage in, garbage out. The old garbage in, garbage out problem, right? Where you've got AI, newer versions of the AI are training on data that has itself been generated by an AI model, right? Because now everybody went so apeshit on generating AI stuff that all that stuff's out on the web, and now the next version of the AI coming along is scraping up that data in addition to the normal data written by humans, And now that data is throwing the models way off. Like there was an article or something that showed, like, if you train an AI model on its own output or on the output of another AI model, it devolves quickly into just absolute gobbledygook. And they're having a huge, and it's not even like a long-term thing either. It's a short-term thing. Like within, 2 to 3 generations of an AI, it's getting worse and worse as time goes on. And it's to then give that control of like insurance or control of healthcare or control of manufacturing, where the manufacturing has to deal with where it's manufacturing something that requires safety, like like airplanes or cars or something like that. To put any of that in the hands of any of the AI models on the market right now is just a recipe for absolute disaster. It's just absolute disaster. And there's going to be a unfortunate reckoning very shortly. And probably some accidents that could have been prevented. Call this chat settings. Just do that for the moment. Oh crap, I can't just do that. That's right, I'm in, for some reason I thought I was in Velocity here. I am not in Velocity, I am in Free Marker. I use Velocity during the day at my day job, so I'm in the wrong mindset here. What was the thing to ignore? Where's it at? Now use types. It's a question mark, wasn't it? Something like that. Handling missing values. Oh, it is an exclamation point, but it's at the end of the variable name. Right. Okay, so I would do it. Guessing that won't work there. Just do that for a moment. And over here, we'll just say, I'll just say ID. And just know that I have to fix that later. Because that's right, I didn't make a settings page for chat yet. Not class alert. I remember, yeah, I know. You're gonna wait until 2050 before you get into an EV. Well, EVs themselves are fine. It's the auto drive that I wouldn't trust right now. I hope that they start to build out. Problem with the EVs right now is two things. One is having the infrastructure for charging, which is less of a problem for me because I could just, I could have a charging thing put in my house here and just have it charge up while it's sitting out there in the driveway, and be probably fine. But it would be nice to have more options there. But the other thing is, I was looking at the Rivians, and the Rivians look really cool. And I really like what I see of them. But A, they are damned expensive. And B, I don't have any I don't think I have a repair shop around me that could repair Rivians. Right? And I know they don't need that much in the way of maintenance and stuff. But I do have, like, in Pennsylvania, every year you got to get, you have to do a, inspection. Right? So it still needs to be inspected every year, which means they take it somewhere where that can inspect the Rivian, presumably someplace that actually knows how to deal with them, and at some point, yeah, it's going to break down and going to need some work. And that's the other part, is like, I love the way this truck looks. Was it R1S, I think? No, R1T. Yeah, like, I like the way this really looks. And it's got so many, like, it's got this little tunnel in the back for things. It's got a nice truck bed. It's got some charging stuff. It looks, it's got a frunk and all kinds of mounts. And I think also it's got all kinds of ports in the back for like electrical ports. In the bed, if I'm not mistaken. It looks really cool. And I really like it. That said, yeah, here's the ports and stuff in the back. Like, it's also got its own, he's using the air compressor. It's got its own built-in air compressor, so you can inflate your own tires from the car itself. The truck itself, which is just fantastic. And that's why I like this. But then I just saw the other day, apparently, the Silverado. There's a Silverado EV, Chevy, Silverado EV. Here we go. I don't much like Silverados, but if it's an EV, I might enjoy it more. The engines on the regular Silverados suck, but this one we're talking about an EV, so it's probably not too bad. And since it's GM, I could probably find anyone that will do a GM thing, right? So this one's got. I was looking at the back of it. Where's the thing at here? Exterior, interior. Where's the live tour? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Where's the some pictures here? So it's got some ports in the back. It's got this. It's got a here's a decent picture. The back seats can fold down entirely, and you can take the glass out, and it's got a spot for the glass, and you can have this whole back open. So you can get an entire, like they have an entire kayak in here and stuff. You got all kinds of charging ports or electrical ports there. You've got the tailgate with the little guard here, which can also come down and be a step. So you can step up into the back, or you can have it as a guard here, or you can put it halfway up and have it as a guard, and it's pretty slick. It's pretty slick stuff. It doesn't have quite as much stuff as the Rivian had, which I really like the Rivian. But it does, you can, like, if you need to, haul more stuff. I don't really haul that much, but the other bonus part of this is that it's GM, so we should be able to just take it to any GM dealer and get maintenance and other things on it, I would hope. I mean, I like the Ford Lightning, but Ford has decided they're out of the EV market right now. So buying that seems like a bad idea. But yeah, it's got all the stuff. 5'11" bed, 7 outlets. And I think it had like 400 miles. Something like that. Well, that's what I mean. Like, you can open up, for the kayak, you can open up the back window. See, they've got the window out. So what happens is you can pop the back window out, and there's a spot for it, and then you fold the back down onto the back seats. And you can get the whole back seats and front here for carrying all that stuff. They had like plywood or something on it. I think wasn't there did I see that on YouTube? Let me see. I mean, I don't know who I'm logged in as here. Let me see. Let me do Chevy silver auto EV. One second. See if I can get some stills here. Here we go. So there we go. So there's like, so that's what it looks like on the one side, and then on the back with the tailgate up and the tonneau cover. That's good, and then you can see how it folds down. You can have like a step up there if you want, and then these seats fold down. And if you want to pop the glass out, you can see how it's folded down here, and you can even keep the glass in if you want, and then just fold them down separately. Running things, charging ports, dashboard. It's got the touchscreen nonsense, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is what it is. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. I don't want to play the video because it's not my video. But you can see like little bits and pieces here. So that looks pretty cool. But again, it's a hard sell for me because it's Silverado is not a car that not a truck that I've particularly liked in the past. But this Rivian is just really super sexy. But like I said, it's where would I take it to get serviced, you know? So it is what it is. But this thing is just like, with all the options, like it says starting at $69,900, but when you start actually putting options on this thing, it very quickly goes to about $109,000, which is ridiculous. Just absolutely crazy pants. Like I paid in 2012, I paid for my F-150. I paid what, 46, and that was with, you know, additional options like, you know, hard cover in the back and everything like that. And like these things are starting at $69,900 for the stripped down version. Like that's the stripped down version that's not 420 miles. It's like 200 and something. It's crazy. Just crazy. Anyway. Anyway. Side topic. Actually, honestly, let's go close that out. Yeah, we'll close this out. I'm gonna have to stop there anyway. That was a good stopping point anyway. Because I forgot that I don't have any, I don't have the settings, the chat settings page set up yet. So I should probably do that first, because that's kind of like a big deal. Getting that in place first, at least with a few options. It doesn't need a lot of options, just like, you know, we can just do like a color option or something right now, just to get that together. And then I'll probably color and size or something. Which I can probably pull just from the alert settings page for the most part, and just rework that. So we gotta get that together first and get that saving, get those settings saving, and then I can start to, I can fill out the rest of this or change the rest of this over, which should just work because we know it works for the alerts. So at least we know we're starting with a good starting point. And then firing off the actual events, I can do the same thing that I did with alerts, because I fire off, I have a test alert button that I can test alerts with. So I can just test a chat with a very similar matter. So that'll be good. I think we can run through that relatively quickly, probably Friday night. And maybe get that to a point where it's, we got the baseline there, and then I gotta figure out HTML unit, I guess, is what it comes down to. Which doesn't look like it's actually that difficult to work with. It looked like it was pretty straightforward, which I'm very happy to see. I mean, this looks very, very straightforward on how to work with it. So getting that to actually load up the page, I don't think is going to be a problem. It'll just be a matter of figuring out how I can latch on to things happening on the page. That'll be the other thing. But and I can change the browser user agent, so that'll help tremendously. So yeah, I think that's where we're at right now. But this is good. This is good. I like you know, the whole session doesn't have to be coding. I do like having chats and stuff, and trying to get a little bit of coding done, but also having chats like this and stuff is really cool, and it helps me to keep things in perspective as well as to where we're at and everything, because it's very easy to get lost in the woods, and then you're off doing something, and before you know it, you're like, okay, how does this fit into the whole to the whole big the big deal? So the whole enchilada, as it were. All right, so we're gonna stop there. I'm not going to commit anything yet because we don't have much there that's ready to go anywhere. But let me see, is there anybody live on Twitch that I could send you guys over to? I don't see anyone right now. So I'll let you disperse on your own, my friends. But not before I say thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I will be back tomorrow night. So tomorrow and Wednesday will be Horizon Forbidden West. We'll definitely be finishing up the main story. Probably tomorrow night we'll finish up the main story, and then maybe Wednesday we'll get into the DLC for that and get that started. And then Thursday we're going to be doing some more Diablo 3. And we'll be doing Diablo 3 for a little bit until hopefully until I get to the end of the storyline on that. Friday night we'll be back here doing some more, getting this chat stuff together finally, at least the baselines of it. And I think Saturday as well. I have to check. I think Saturday. Saturday's here, not doing anything. So Saturday afternoon, hopefully we'll be doing some more coding as well. And then Saturday night, maybe we'll be doing some multiplayer stuff. And Sunday will be a toss-up, as it tends to be. So that is the story as I know it right now, my friends. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. And I hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Until then, see you, bye.
Who are you, and how did you get in here?
I'm a locksmith. And I'm a locksmith.